Intended only to supplement the written installation instructions that accompanied your product, not to replace those installation instructions. The written installation instructions should be read and available to you before you attempt to install the product. If you have any questions about the instructions in this video or are not comfortable performing the installation demonstrated, contact manufacturer's customer service. Before you begin the dryer installation, refer to the installation manual for a list of recommended tools and parts you may need. Warning: explosion hazard. Keep flammable materials and vapors, such as gasoline, away from dryer. Place dryer at least 18 inches, 460 millimeters, above the floor for a garage installation. Failure to do so can result in death, explosion, or fire. A grounded electrical outlet will need to be located within 2 feet of the power cord on the back of the dryer. The electrical supply for the appliance must be 120 volts at 60 Hz. A dedicated circuit is recommended. The rear of the appliance should be positioned no closer than 6 inches from the wall. If installing the dryer in a cabinet or closet, allow for at least 1 inch of space on the sides and top of the appliance. There should be enough space to allow the door to fully open. If a closet door is used, the door should be louvered or space left at the top and bottom of the door to ensure adequate airflow. Warning: excessive weight hazard. Use 2 or more people to move and install dryer. Failure to do so can result in back or other injury. Tip the dryer back and rest it on a large piece of cardboard to help prevent floor damage. Using an adjustable wrench and tape measure, screw the leveling legs into the leg holes until the bottom of the foot is approximately a ½ inch from the base of the dryer. Return the dryer to its upright position. Gently slide the dryer until it is close to its final location, but leave enough room to connect the exhaust vent. Warning: explosion hazard. Use a new CSA International approved gas supply line. Install a shutoff valve. Securely tighten all gas connections. If connected to LP, have a qualified person make sure gas pressure does not exceed 13 inches, 330 millimeters, water column. Examples of a qualified person include licensed heating personnel, authorized gas company personnel, and authorized service personnel. Failure to do so can result in death, explosion, or fire. A flexible stainless steel gas connector is recommended to connect the gas supply line and valve to the dryer. Remove the red cap from the gas pipe on the rear panel of the dryer. You can connect the flexible gas connector to the dryer gas pipe using a pipe-to-flare adapter fitting, or use a pipe elbow and adapter fitting to direct the gas connector up or to either side. Be aware you will need to use pipe joint compound on the threads of all non-flared male fittings. Once the gas connector has been secured, open the gas shutoff valve and test all the connections by applying a non-corrosive leak detection solution. The solution will bubble if there is a leak. Any leaking connections should be corrected. Warning: fire hazard. Use a heavy metal vent. Do not use a plastic vent. Do not use a metal foil vent. Failure to follow these instructions can result in death or fire. To reduce the risk of fire, this dryer must be exhausted outdoors. Refer to the vent system charts in the installation manual to determine the number of vent sections and elbow joints required. Only 4-inch wide venting and clamps should be used. While 45-degree elbow joints will provide better airflow than 90-degree elbows, the goal should be to use the fewest number of elbows and turns as possible for the venting to reach the outside of the home. An exhaust hood will need to be installed over the vent on the home's exterior wall, positioned at least 12 inches from the ground. If the dryer model uses steam, your next step is to turn the cold water faucet off and disconnect the washer inlet hose from the faucet port. Remove the old rubber washer from the inlet hose and replace it with a new washer. Insert new rubber washers into both ends of the provided 2-foot inlet hose. Now thread the 2-foot inlet hose onto the faucet port by hand until snug. Thread the opposite end of the inlet hose onto the short end of the Y connector. Using pliers, tighten the couplings an additional 2/3 turn, but avoid over-tightening. Next, thread the washer inlet hose onto one of the Y connector ports. Insert new washers into both ends of a new 5-foot inlet hose. Thread the new hose onto the remaining Y connector port. Use pliers to tighten the couplings an additional 2/3 turn. Now remove the protective cap from the fill valve on the upper rear panel of the dryer. Thread the inlet hose onto the valve and tighten. Turn the cold water faucet back on and check for leaks around all of the hose fittings. Your next step is to attach the vent to the exhaust outlet. Use a 4-inch clamp to secure. If applicable, move the dryer to its final location or as near as possible, making sure not to crush or kink the vent. Next, determine if the dryer is level from side to side and front to back. If the dryer is not level, support the appliance with a wood block and use an adjustable wrench to rotate the leveling leg or legs clockwise to lower the dryer, or counterclockwise to raise the dryer. Confirm that the appliance is level. All 4 legs are in contact with the floor and the dryer does not rock. Warning: electrical shock hazard. Plug into a grounded 3-prong outlet. Do not remove ground prong. Do not use an adapter. Do not use an extension cord. Failure to follow these instructions can result in death, fire, or electrical shock. Plug the power cord into the electrical outlet